As you can imagine, this has taken time. It has taken me time to recover from major surgery, major surgery, to explain everything,
In late February of 2024, speculation began rising in online forums over the absence of Kate Middleton, Princess of Wales, from public activities and normal royal duties. Kate had not been seen publicly at that time for 58 days. As of the time of finishing this script, it's now been nearly 180 days since Kate has been seen. This is concerning because, as one of the most famous members of the royal family, Kate's charity work, fashion interests, and influence in the media make every one of her public appearances a newsworthy affair. Kate had made her last public appearance alongside her family at the annual Christmas Day church service at Church of St. Mary Magdalene in Norfolk, before disappearing from the public eye completely. On the evening of December 28, 2024, 3 days after Kate's last public appearance, it was widely reported that an ambulance was seen being escorted away from Sandringham House, where the royal family spends Christmas every year. I believe this report originates from this video. Clearly, you can't see an ambulance in that video, so obviously that means nobody went to the hospital, right? Wrong. On January 17th, Kensington Palace, the offices and residence of the Prince and Princess of Wales, basically their press contact, announced that the day before, January 16th, Kate had undergone a planned abdominal surgery and would be unable to return to public engagements until after Easter. But this would be the first of many mistakes made by the royals in trying to control the narrative surrounding this particular mystery, as it couldn't have been a planned surgery. William and Kate announced they would be traveling to Italy in the first quarter of 2024, which completely contradicts the planned abdominal surgery needing 10 to 14 days of hospitalization and 3 months of recovery time narrative. The royal family receives about £100 million a year from the UK Treasury to do their duties. The royals put a lot of effort and money into controlling the narrative about them, making their continued response to the ever-evolving "Where is Kate?" issue all the more baffling. As time passed through the rest of January, then through all of February, with no word on the princess's health, and with maybe a little bit of healthy concern based on previous historical events involving the treatment and eventual fate of another Princess of Wales, members of the public and media began to call for some light to be shed on whatever was going on. The response was odd and would only get stranger. The royal family wouldn't wait long to start trying to steer public attention away from any negative possibilities. The first photo of Kate proving her well-being was this paparazzi photo of her driving on March 4th. Now, this isn't some random shot a lucky paparazzo snapped. This was almost certainly planned, as this is Kate's preferred method for her first time out in public after any kind of incident like the Queen's death. But eagle-eyed users on the internet instantly grabbed onto a perceived strangeness in this photo. To many people, this does not look like Kate Middleton. Again, here's Kate at her last public appearance, and here's other similar photos of Kate having these paparazzi photos taken of her driving. Some have pointed out that she may have swelling or bloating from the surgery, but this photo was taken 7 weeks after the surgery had allegedly taken place. And some users ran the photo through facial recognition software, which showed a match for Kate's mom, Carol, but did not match against reference pictures of Kate. I can't help but point out that the version of the photo that was widely circulated was very zoomed in, most likely to avoid people noticing that this isn't a candid photo taken by a lucky paparazzo. You can tell by the rims and tires that the car is not moving, or moving very slowly, even though the background looks blurry like it's in motion. And some feel as though these extra tires here may be a sign of AI photo manipulation or creation. If Kate is up and driving around 7 weeks after her surgery, and the press begins circulating stories about how people just don't believe this is her, you'd think she'd be well enough to just bite the bullet and make a public appearance, but again, that's not what happened. The next attempt at showing everything was normal and a-okay was a Mother's Day image included in a press release, again from Kensington Palace. Now at first glance, great, she's clearly okay and healthy, right? Wrong again. This picture caused a massive reaction all over social media because it contains several very clear signs of being manipulated. People very quickly began pointing out alleged signs of Photoshop or AI manipulation, such as an anomaly here with the zipper on Kate's jacket where it abruptly ceases to exist. Princess Charlotte's hand is completely disconnected from her sleeve and the rest of her arm, and her skirt juts and sticks out, also looking unattached to anything here. Ultimately, multiple news agencies, including the Associated Press, AFP, and Getty Images, issued a kill order for the photo, citing concerns of manipulation, demanding the circulation of the photo by any affiliated media agencies stop immediately, and Instagram added a warning to the image, tagging it as altered. The next day, someone posted from the official Kensington Palace accounts, signing off as C for Catherine or Kate, taking the blame for the controversy completely, chalking it up to Kate being an inexperienced amateur photographer and making editing mistakes. But images don't get pulled like that for simple editing mistakes. Now, as I was writing this, ignoring the things to come, I was still cognizant of how goofy this might all sound. But in context for how disturbing this would get, it does make the use of this photo seem very suspicious. Especially now that we pretty much know for a fact that the photo was some kind of composite creation, using months-old images as a starting point, and making Kate take the blame for it seems so dark. On March 11th, the next picture, proving the princess was alive and well, was published. Sky News writing, Kate, Princess of Wales, pictured with Prince William after controversy over edited photograph. Fine, sure. That's a picture of Kate and William leaving the palace. Except, what's with those bricks? Through the windows, we can see nice white mortar lines in between the bricks. Above the car's roof, the bricks are blurry, with a bright orange distressed hue, with very skinny, almost non-existent mortar lines. Why are we going from obscured blurry face far away, to picture with over a dozen manipulations, to a picture in a car looking away towards a brick wall? Here's a picture of Kate from behind from 2023. Here is Liam West on Twitter, showing how perfectly it lines up with this picture. With everything going on in the world, it can start to feel impossible to take care of yourself. But today's video sponsor, AG1, has made that a lot easier. AG1 is a daily foundational nutrition supplement that supports whole body health in a delicious, easy-to-use formula. You just scoop, shake, and enjoy. A few months ago, I was heading home from a weekend trip with a ton of editing to do, just wondering why I was always feeling so tired and worn out. I was listening to a podcast and they ran a couple ads for AG1. It made me wonder about my gut biome and my immune health, and I thought maybe I'll give AG1 a try and call it synchronicity or serendipity. The next morning, I had a lovely email from the people over at AG1 offering to send me some AG1 to try out and maybe partner up. Well, I tried AG1 and I loved it so much it became an important part of my daily routine. And months later, I still drink it every day. I feel like AG1 has helped me increase my energy and helps me recover faster during periods of high stress, which for me is like every day. AG1 is a science-driven formula of vitamins, probiotics, and whole food sourced ingredients to support your brain, gut, and immune system. It combines what you would normally get from multiple individual supplements into a simpler and more effective way to raise your baseline health, support your daily performance, and promote healthy aging. Since 2010, AG1 has improved their formula over 50 times. This not tastes bad, this tastes good. Try AG1 for yourself using this QR code or the link in my description to get 5 free travel packs and a year's supply of vitamin D3 K2 with your first order right now. Every serving of AG1 contains vitamins and minerals, stress adaptogens, pre- and probiotics, antioxidants, superfoods, and mushrooms, and digestive support. So when you drink it, you know you're supporting your immune health, your gut health, and getting all the delicious little ingredients your body is desperate for. So try AG1 for yourself using this QR code or the link in my description to get 5 free travel packs and a year's supply of vitamin D3 K2 with your first order right now. And a massive thanks to AG1 for sponsoring this video. On the 18th of March, the royals seem to have thrown a Hail Mary media blitz, going all out to dispel the rumors about Kate and get the narrative under control. First, the Daily Mail and several other news organizations printed this story, claiming that Kate Middleton had been spotted at Windsor Farm Shop, looking happy, relaxed, and healthy. But the photos included in the article were also featured in an article published on May 18, 2023, nearly a year before. In the Sun version of this article, they also included a photo, this one coming from a fashion article from September 27th, 2023. And you can even see that it's actually the same exact image, just with the background removed and rotated somewhat. Then, still on March 18th, TMZ received and circulated an exclusive video allegedly showing Kate and William at the shops. But is this Kate? Her frame looks different. This woman looks and carries herself like a younger woman and dresses much more casually. And some online users feel that she actually looks a lot closer to Gabrielle Monroe Douglas, a highly paid professional Princess Kate impersonator.
Back home to George and bed now.
Whoa.
Another thing certain users found very interesting is that nobody around these two are batting an eye, as the prince and princess stroll by them during their first public outing in months after Kate has undergone a major surgery. Nobody has come forward saying they saw these two on that day at the shops, other than the person who took this grainy footage. If there was nothing strange going on and Kate had been making all of her normal public appearances, and these two were just casually walking around in public, people would be excitedly approaching them. But especially at this point in March, there was a ton of media attention focused on Kate's well-being and her whereabouts, and nobody around these two seems to even notice them. So what does that mean? The TMZ article in which this footage was first released is suspiciously written in this incredibly leading fashion, the same media line published by many other media outlets that day. Onlookers felt she looked happy, relaxed, and healthy as she strolled through the store, like the couple didn't have a care in the world. Later writing, at first, there was no real evidence to back up the report, but now, the first actual visual of her here has surfaced, and it's 100% her. Frankly, it's as if nothing was ever wrong with her, although of course, we know she was in the hospital for a while for a serious procedure that took her out of commission. People immediately began digging into the name of the person that took that footage, Nelson Silva. The most prominent search result is that of a professional video editor and filmmaker from Portugal, who, according to his own website, graduated in Portugal and has worked for TV channels, specifically in the UK, and currently edits for TVI and CNN Portugal. Somebody who lives in the area and certainly has the ability to manipulate video. In a follow-up article posted by The Sun the following day, March 19th, titled, "I stood beside Princess Kate at shop and saw her laughing with staff. Trolls are delusional." Silva says he saw Kate with his own eyes. Nelson repeated his story about filming the couple, but also repeatedly mentioned how anyone who questioned the validity of his story or footage was a delusional conspiracy theorist, that this footage should completely dispel any rumors about Kate. He also claims he had no idea anything strange was going on with Kate, and he only took the video to send to his family in Portugal, and only shared it with TMZ once one of his coworkers told him on March 18th, the very same day it would later be posted by TMZ, that this video was important because it could dispel all the rumors going around about Kate. The article provides very little details about Silva, other than the fact that he's 40 years old, he is a father, and lives in the UK. But this is the picture they show. Now, if I was one of those delusional conspiracy theorists, I may be inclined to suspect that this is just some guy, and that the video editor of the same name was the one who shot the footage, and they didn't use his picture because it looks bad having the dubious footage coming from the only witness, who happens to be a video editor that works for CNN. Yet another minute but suspicious detail. Silva ends the interview by saying, "People across the pond are invested, and they must never have laid eyes on Kate in real life. But all these people in the UK too, they say it's not her, that it's a fake person. Are they going to say I made this video? Did I put a fake Kate there? It is ridiculous. Are they going to now question if I'm a real person as well?" What an odd thing to say. On March 22nd, the royal family decided to put all of the rumors to rest.
I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you personally for all the wonderful messages of support and for your understanding whilst I've been recovering from surgery. It has been an incredibly tough couple of months for our entire family, but I've had a fantastic medical team who have taken great care of me, for which I'm so grateful. In January, I underwent major abdominal surgery in London, and at the time, it was thought that my condition was non-cancerous. The surgery was successful. However, tests after the operation found cancer had been present. My medical team therefore advised that I should undergo a course of preventative chemotherapy, and I'm now in the early stages of that treatment. This, of course, came as a huge shock, and William and I have been doing everything we can to process and manage this privately for the sake of our young family. As you can imagine, this has taken time. It has taken me time to recover from major surgery in order to start my treatment, but most importantly, it has taken us time to explain everything to George, Charlotte, and Louis in a way that's appropriate for them, and to reassure them that I'm going to be okay. As I've said to them, I am well and getting stronger every day by focusing on the things that will help me heal in my mind, body, and spirits. Having William by my side is a great source of comfort and reassurance too, as is the love, support, and kindness that has been shown by so many of you. It means so much to us both. We hope that you'll understand that as a family, We now need some time, space, and privacy while I complete my treatment. My work has always brought me a deep sense of joy, and I look forward to being back when I'm able. But for now, I must focus on making a full recovery.
When this video dropped, the emotional weight of the announcement caused many people that had been caught up in the whirlwind of conspiracy theories to question whether or not they had gone too far. Some made sweeping and in some cases self-admonishing statements declaring the mystery to be solved, and that any further inquiry would be a breach of privacy on the family in their time of need. However, for many people, this whole scandal had just become far more compelling. The previous attempts at quelling public suspicions seemed incredibly sloppy, but some online theorists quickly began pointing out inconsistencies in this video. My personal opinion after my first viewing of this video was that it feels very strange. First and foremost, it seems like it was shot in an extremely controlled environment in a studio on a green screen, based on what I perceive to be a pretty fairly easy to make out blurring effect here. There are also moments in the video that seem to show anomalies with the teeth, a feature of the human body that, like hands, AI hasn't quite perfected yet. We also have the eyes popping out at certain frames. Bizarre, inconsistent bouncing frames on various parts of the bench slats, and many of the times that the subject blinks, large square pixels can be seen over the eyelids. If you're questioning whether or not this can be done, yes, it can, and it's scary how easy it is to pull this stuff off nowadays.
I am not Morgan Freeman, and what you see is not real. What is your perception of reality? If you can see, hear, taste, or smell something, does that make it real? Now, what do you see?
Similar to the Mother's Day photo, Getty once again issued a statement regarding this footage, saying the video may not adhere to Getty Images' editorial policy, and that, like the Mother's Day photo, had been provided to them for wide distribution by Kensington Palace. Case Wickman, a writer with Vanity Fair, wrote in an April 2nd article that a Getty spokesperson claimed Getty Images includes a standard editor's note to hand out content provided by third-party organizations, and then declined to comment further, seeming like Getty may have the legal obligation to flag any manipulated photo and video content that they distribute, but are trying to distance themselves from any further controversy. The reason I think this might be true is because their statement regarding the editor's note being standard procedure for a third-party image or video is patently false. Case Wickman details in their article that Getty did not attach this disclaimer or editor's note to any previous images or video coming from Kensington Palace or Buckingham Palace, including pictures of Charles' coronation and the 2023 Wales family portrait. The video was analyzed by Deep Media, an AI-powered deepfake detection and media intelligence service that holds contracts with the US Air Force and the Department of Defense, and their findings were that there was a, quote, high likelihood that Catherine's voice and face were manipulated with AI. It also appears as though this production came from BBC Studios instead of the BBC News division. So unfortunately, I can't really trust this video either, but it did seem to be a major split in the community that was trying to investigate whatever was happening with the princess. Based on this video, a lot of the people that had been all in on the drama were now demanding that the princess be allowed to heal in peace, which is exactly what I thought I should do as well. I originally started writing this segment in early March, but dropped it immediately after the cancer announcement. I truly felt like something was very off with the situation, and I couldn't quite believe the narrative, but I felt like if there was even a chance that the princess was really battling cancer, the last thing I'd want to do is contribute any undue criticism or negative energy about it, so I dropped it. But then I found something I had missed. Thomas Kingston was a British financier and former hostage negotiator who worked in Iraq, described by his friends and colleagues as never afraid of anything and an exceptional man who lit up the lives of all who knew him. In 2011, it became apparent that he was dating Kate Middleton's sister, Pippa. Although the relationship was said to be short, the pair were seen at various events together for years. In 2019, Thomas married Lady Gabriella Windsor, the second cousin of King Charles and the daughter of Prince Michael of Kent. On February 25th, 2024, amidst the public's initial inquiries into Kate Middleton's whereabouts, Thomas Kingston was found dead from a traumatic wound to the head. He was 45, and a sparse amount of news or updates on his death have been bizarre. According to Gloucestershire's coroner's officer Philip Squibbs, on February 25th, Kingston ate lunch with his parents at their Cotswold residence in Gloucestershire. Kingston's father then took the dogs for a walk, and when he returned, his son was no longer in the house. 30 minutes later, his mother went to look for him. His father then forced entry on a locked outbuilding after no reply could be heard from inside, and found his son, Thomas Kingston, deceased with a catastrophic head injury, and there was a gun found at the scene. The parents called the police, who were satisfied that the death was unsuspicious. And that's it. That's how the story was reported. That is all of the information that is publicly available about Kingston's death. I'm not sure if it's because he's royalty, so it's uncouth to say that he committed suicide, but some outlets are reporting it as one, while some just detail the traumatic head wound. The death seemed to be quickly brushed under the rug. There was no talk of depression or maybe stress or controversy leading to this. And I also found it strange that it wasn't a member of the police or a family member or lawyer making any of these statements. All these news sources cited this coroner's officer Squibbs person. It seems very strange that while so many are becoming nervous and starting to wonder why Princess Kate hasn't been seen in public for months, her sister's ex and now royal family member suddenly commits suicide. The death was kept from the press for 3 days, but then was quickly announced February 27th, before the narrative moved back to Prince Harry and King Charles the very next day, February 28th. And it was while researching Thomas Kingston's untimely and strange death that I learned of another unsettling detail. This time regarding William and Kate's 3 children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. Out of the 3 children, only one of them, Prince George, has appeared publicly since Christmas Day 2023. George attended the Emirates FA Cup final match between Manchester City and Manchester United at Wembley Stadium with his father Prince William on May 25th. Although George looks to be healthy and enjoying himself, the other 2 children haven't been seen in public for almost 6 months. Recently, Princess Kate's new portrait was released shortly after King Charles' official portrait. Charles was bizarrely painted almost entirely in shades of blood red. And Kate's is, well, terrible, and that's not just my opinion. The Daily Telegraph's chief art critic, Alistair Sooke, deemed it egregiously, intolerably, jaw hits the floor bad. The artist, Hannah Uzor, also came out and said that since Kate was unable to sit for her portrait, she instead poured over 189,000 images to come up with a composite image to base her painting on. It's so interesting that while so much discourse is taking place on what Kate looks like and whether or not certain pictures could be her new portrait comes out and looks nothing like her. It seems to be particularly vague. And just after that, on May 25th, the Daily Beast reported that according to royal sources and friends of Kate Middleton and Prince William, Kate will not be appearing in public for the rest of the year. And then, after 6 months of media lies, AI-manipulated images, staged paparazzi photos, and deepfake videos, Kate and the kids came back, appearing at the Trooping of the Colors ceremony on June 15th. And Kate, though she's been battling cancer and going through chemo, actually looked great. But judging from the KateIsMissing subreddit, it's not over. A large focus being put on what they allege to be a major new scar across Kate's left brow and down onto her cheek, and suspicion that Kate was hidden from the public eye, not because of cancer, but for some kind of facial reconstruction surgery or a facelift, and speculation over what may have caused a 6-month disappearance in the first place. Even in Kate's new Vanity Fair cover, the photo used is of Kate looking, well, manipulated, wearing the same outfit she wore to the Commonwealth Day service on March 13th, 2023. So, if Kate is okay, why all the lies? Why all the manipulation? What does it all mean? Whatever may have been the cause for Kate's removal from the public view, I truly hope her and the kids really are safe and happy. But I think that this whole affair has proven that in 2024, you can believe less and less of what you see. On April 9th and 10th of 2024, a mysterious giant anomaly appeared on Ventusky, a weather monitoring site, showing a massive blob moving north away from Antarctica and towards Africa. I covered the initial event in my previous video, which is all about Antarctica conspiracy theories, but after I wrote that video, I decided to take a closer look at the blob situation. And I have to say, I was shocked. So let's talk about the Blob Anomaly. Like I said previously, people seem to notice the blob for the first time on April 9th and 10th. What you're looking at here is a wave detection system, and what the system thinks it's picking up is 80-foot tall waves going in all these different directions. And whatever is causing those waves is the darkened portion underneath and is roughly continent-sized at times. The problem is, there are major shipping lanes right here, so ostensibly, if there were really massive 80-foot tall waves tearing through this part of the ocean, we'd likely have footage from these vessels or a capsized ship or something. But as far as anyone can tell, that hasn't happened. So what is it? Well, on Friday, April 12th, Ventusky spokesperson David Prantle made a statement via email.
It was a model error. Ventusky serves as a visualization platform that collects data from various sources. The error originated in the model itself, so it was also reflected in the visualization on our website. In this case, the model is from the German Meteorological Service, DWD, with whom we are in contact, and they have already resolved this error.
Obviously, many online users that had seen the Blob Anomaly were dubious of Prantle's claims that the anomaly had been caused by this model error, and theories began emerging as they do in these situations. From being linked to the solar eclipse, which we'll find out couldn't have been the case, to memes about the biblical Leviathan rising, or Cthulhu awakening from his ancient slumber, to an alleged mobile underwater UFO construction base leaked by a whistleblower on 4chan. The most interesting theory at the time, in my opinion, was tied to a potential asteroid impact. On April 9th, the Pan-STARRS Observatory discovered a car-sized asteroid flying at speed towards Earth. It was expected to graze by Earth at a near miss. On April 11th, it did just that, passing by the Earth at just 12,000 miles away, which is relatively close. But according to multiple data models, the asteroid didn't fly by Earth. It was a direct hit.
Not a huge asteroid, but I was looking at this orbital viewer here, and all models here show pretty much a direct impact here. Near Earth Object Toolkit, it shows what looks like this asteroid directly hitting Earth. We put this into motion, kaboom, it gets swallowed up by the Atlantic Ocean out there. You guys see that?
The theory being that the asteroid impacted in the Atlantic Ocean and began spreading something volatile across the surface and depths of the ocean. Now, this was admittedly some sci-fi brain rot theorizing, but at the time it was very interesting and scary as we only detected the asteroid 2 days before a potential impact. But all these theories would turn out to be unfounded, and a much more frightening theory would begin to emerge. A TikTok user called Glamham, a licensed ham radio operator and frequency enthusiast, absolutely dove into the Blob Anomaly head first and uncovered some extremely compelling evidence. This segment was much easier to research and write because of her legwork, so if you want to see what this information being discovered in real time looks like, go follow her on TikTok. Glamham discovered that the Blob Anomaly had actually appeared before, on February 22nd and 23rd, and then again on March 27th, before being discovered and going viral in April. But then, even after Ventusky had officially stated that the model error had been rectified, a very interesting series of events played out. On May 6th, images surfaced from Zoom Earth, a live weather map and hurricane tracker supported by NASA satellites, showing the area where all the blob activity usually takes place, completely blacked out, followed by a full week of insanely large expanding formations, dwarfing any blob activity we had seen at the time. On May 25th, Ventusky pulled the German Meteorological Service from its app, citing continued issues with its wave model causing incorrect values near Africa, and that's how they're choosing to present the Blob Anomaly. But the anomaly is unavoidable at this point, as it's already been seen on multiple other meteorological platforms. And as all this was happening, a growing number of weather radar failures were being reported. Cape Town in South Africa, here, is suffering record-breaking, severe, almost unheard-of weather anomalies. Pods of whales are washing up on shores, beaching themselves and dying in Australia. And bizarre clips began surfacing online of fish behaving erratically, swimming in unnatural spiral patterns. Hundreds of dead baby sea lions have washed up along California's coastal islands, leaving researchers baffled. And according to water temperature anomaly charts, 90% of the hurricane-generating regions of the ocean are suddenly the hottest they've ever been. The news warning of an incredibly early and violent hurricane season, perhaps due to rising sea temperatures, leaving many people wondering if these strange events could be tied to the blob. And that's where this takes an extremely interesting and dark turn. All the Blob Anomaly footage, the blob can be seen almost emitting from the same place over and over again. And there just so happens to be an island there. This is Bouvet Island, as seen on Google Maps. And interestingly enough, you have to know it's called Bouvet Island to be able to find it on Google Maps, as if you just hover over it, it's completely unmarked, which is not normal. The coordinates to Bouvet Island pull up an organization that lists the island as their headquarters, the Ministry of Humanity, with reviews going back 8 months before the anomaly ever appeared. Though there's very little known about the Ministry of Humanity, what we do know is it wasn't something made up recently to benefit from the sudden rise in attention on the island. The Ministry of Humanity also has some very interesting YouTube videos. Channels like Into Thin Air here on YouTube have been tracking these anomalies for quite a long time and believe that they're caused by high-frequency devices or systems. We know that increases in heat of the ocean water cause much worse hurricanes, like we're seeing now or about to see. There have long been conspiracy theories about HAARP, the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, which studies the ionosphere. HAARP is the world's most capable, high-power, high-frequency transmitter that's used to temporarily excite a limited area of the ionosphere for scientific study. But many people have slammed the experiment, claiming it's basically just the biggest radio antenna ever, pumping massive high-frequency directional broadcasts into the air for the purpose of heating the ionosphere, and that when HAARP says they're exciting the ionosphere, what they actually mean is that they're blasting electromagnetic radiation into the sky to microwave the outer layer of the atmosphere. Theorists claiming that this heating of the ionosphere can be used to control the weather, generate earthquakes, rip holes in the atmosphere, and so on. Many have also pointed out the odd ocean anomalies near Bouvet Island at these coordinates looking eerily similar to a radiant floor heating system. Now, I'm not saying that someone built an incomprehensibly large radiant heating system in the ocean, but this is strange. 5 years ago, a channel here on YouTube called Fusible uploaded a 20-minute video of a helicopter flyby of Bouvet Island. Beginning at around the 2.5-minute mark, a massive cave opening or entrance accessible by water can be seen, confirming to those fascinated by this subject that Bouvet Island is large enough to house some kind of infrastructure. It may just not be on the surface. So what do you guys think? Could there be some kind of advanced hidden infrastructure within the island? When watching Into Thin Air's videos about the current weather anomalies, and Glamham's videos about the Blob Anomaly, it's hard not to arrive at a staggering question. Are the powers that be using some kind of frequency technology to heat the ocean, and if so, why? An anonymous user pointed those that were interested in the Bouvet Island anomalies to check out the Google Earth time-lapse starting in 2017. Up to 2016, everything seems normal. But in 2017, the island disappears completely. Okay guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please like the video if you haven't already. It really does so much to help the video in the algorithm. And subscribe if you're new here for more videos just like this one. If you want to see additional videos that may be a little too disturbing for YouTube or my next video early, please consider becoming a member on Patreon. The link will be in the description. And a massive thank you and shout out to all my current patrons. You guys are the best. I want to thank AG1 again for sponsoring the video. Please give them a try, and I'll see you guys very soon.